Well, what started out as a really crappy, dreary, rainy morning has turned into a decent afternoon. This is the Frugal Gardener. I am on the homestead, 4.5 acres in West Virginia, Zone 7A. And this is episode 6 of Gardening Over 40. Is it too early to say happy holidays? Christmas is 2 weeks away, and I know you guys have things to do. So I'm not going to hold you long today. I won't say it's going to be super short, but this episode is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. You guys have gifts to buy, trees to trim, lots of things to do. But I want to thank you again. This has been, without a doubt, the most fun series for me. And I guess you could say, because you guys are my peeps, 40 and older. I am in my mid-70s, and I read all your comments. I appreciate all your comments. And if you guys want to put in where you garden, or your age, or which country you're from, any comments at all, any questions, any tips that you have that you may want to share, post them in the comments. Like I said, I read them all and I respond to them all, and I appreciate it. So let's get started. I have 5 tips for you today and a bonus tip. So don't go away. This bonus tip, I don't want to seem like I'm exaggerating or trying to get anybody upset, but this bonus tip could possibly save your life. So today we're talking about preparation and prevention, and you're probably wondering why I'm showing you a coffee can. Well, the top was open, but now the wind has blown it shut. And number one is your walkways. This is a little bit wet now. This used to be a lot worse, by the way, before the chips got put down. The frugal son-in-law is one of the people who have helped with these chips. Here you go. Doesn't want to stay open. Okay. You've seen wood ash before, and a lot of people wait until they hear there's going to be snow in the forecast, and what happens? Everybody runs to the store. Everybody goes at once. They want to buy rock salt. They want to get shovels. They want to get everything that you need. And that goes against what we're trying to cover in this series. We're trying to make your work easier. So if you don't have that kind of stuff, you should get it now while the weather is decent. But I'm showing you this wood ash because if you don't want to put down the salt, because the salt could eat up what you have, especially if you're planting in ground. You don't want to put that salt too close to your plants. Wood ash is free. Wood chips, if you can get them, also free. So those are 2 of the things that you might want to use instead of the salt, because the salt is corrosive and definitely not good for your uh, plants. And you want to get this walkway done, obviously, ahead of time. You want to be preemptive. And the second thing on my list of tips today is lighting. Although this series is for 40 and older, and a lot of you guys, including myself, are retired, there are people who still have to work. And I don't know which part of the country you're in, which part of the world you're in, but a lot of people come home after dark. If you have to check your garden, if you have to walk through the garden, you're going to need light. I have 7 of these. These are motion sensor lights. You'll see them all through the property. And the reason is because once you buy them, that's it. You don't have to pay the electric company ever anymore. So I have strategically placed these. The best time to put them up is at night so that you can clearly see which direction you want to put them in. The frugal nephew put a couple on trees, and I just basically put the rest. Here's another one around the front, around the back, anywhere where you're going to be walking. You're going to want to have this so that obviously it will prevent you from having a fall and a quick trip to the emergency ward. So that's number 2. And after you get the lighting and the wood chips, number 3 is, it's not preventive, I guess you can say, but it is watering cans. Why are we talking about watering cans in December? Well, the reason is because if I had $1 for every watering can that I ruined, I wouldn't have to buy watering cans anymore. I leave them out, and what happens is, you probably guessed, the water in them freezes, and as you learned in school years ago, it expands and it bursts the cans. So here's two of the 3 watering cans that I have. This video was late today. One reason is because it was raining, and another reason is because I waited for this. This just came. This is the bigger version, the daddy version of this, this is a heat mat. This one is for the windowsill. I have several of these. The reason why I brought the new one is because the weather last week was pretty bad in terms of the cold, and the chickens' water was freezing. So as a quick solution, I just put one of these pads underneath the chicken water, keep it from freezing. So I waited to do this video to show you guys what this looks like. These things used to be expensive. They've come down quite a bit, and basically they come in this little satchel packet. Hold on one quick second. So here we are. This is about 3 times the size of the one that I'm showing you, and this is 10 inches by 20 inches, and that's going to go down here. And when you put your water, your watering cans on top, then the idea is, unless it's super cold, it should keep them from freezing. So there you have it. That's something that you probably won't hear anywhere else, but if you did, then you've heard it again here from me. So moving along, stick with me because the most important one is coming up. And just by the way, I should tell you guys that when we get through the holidays, I'm going to start doing some indoor stuff, some indoor gardening, and this way you guys won't have to be out in the cold if you live in a cold climate. So number 4 on my list, I have to go back this way again. I have chickens. Even if you don't have chickens, you have your nutrients and food for your garden and your plants, and you have to have somewhere to store it. Animals get hungry in the fall and winter. I did not used to have raccoons, but now Oh my goodness. We have possums, we have raccoons, we have the neighbor's cats, we have squirrels, we have chipmunks, all sorts of critters roaming around. So everything has to go in this bin or in this tote. Why am I showing this to you? Because this is also preventive. Any old tote won't do. Raccoons are clever and they can easily get into your stash. So you need something with these clamps on the sides. You need something that they will have to work to get in. So on top of that, you see these two bottles. This is actually rainwater. So a gallon of water is approximately 8 gallons. I'm sorry, 8 pounds. So again, do the math. That's roughly 16 pounds on top of them having to get those handles loose. So that's number 4. Number 5, and then we'll get to the bonus tip, is another thing people don't think about until the time comes, and that is fire. And you're like, well, fire in December? Yeah, yeah. And I'll tell you why. Because around the holiday time, if the weather is not too bad, then people have bonfires, people burn leaves, and people have fire pits. I have a fire pit behind me, and you get out there, and most of the time, it's fine. 99% of the time, it's fine. But what happens in that 100th time, that 1%? If you have a fire, of course, you're going to call the fire department. Makes sense. But what are you going to do while you're waiting for the fire department? If you have this on hand, or a neighbor, doesn't have to be your house, your property, then you can use this to keep the fire away from your property. Now, the other thing is, if you're outside and there's a fire inside, what's the first thing they always tell you? Never run into a burning building. That's right. I agree. But there are exceptions. Come on, you know it. I have a granddaughter. She's 3. If my granddaughter's inside a burning building, guess what? I'm going in after her. I would rather go in with this than to go in empty-handed. I keep one of these at the front door, one at the back door, and one outside. So you don't have to try and go in. If there is a bonfire that gets out of control, the time you spend running around the house trying to find it, you're wasting time and things are getting burned up. And I don't want to get gruesome about it, but you get the picture. So that's uh, my 5 tips. And I'm about to show you my bonus tip, but I wanted to show you one more thing first. Hold on. And that is my heat mat. Sorry about the picture, but I wanted to show you this, how it actually would look. You can see these come in different sizes, by the way. This was about 15 bucks. I can get 2 cans on here, and it doesn't get very hot. The purpose is obvious. It's to keep your water from freezing. I would not keep this here. This is up here for demonstration purposes. So you get it. That's pretty simple. Something you can easily do. It's not really expensive. So number 1 is the pathways with the wood chips or the wood ash. Number 2 is the lighting with the motion sensors. Number 3 is the watering cans that I'm showing you here, where you can also put these if you have a greenhouse, if you have a garage, anywhere where it's going to stay warmer, you can use these to keep your watering cans from freezing. Number 4 is the totes, or the containers that you use to store your whatever, anything that you have outside that you don't want the dogs, the squirrels, the possums, the raccoons, or anything to get into. 5 we just covered. It's a fire extinguisher. And this, well, this is my favorite of the day. And I bet you never thought of it. This is an air horn. If you've ever been to a sporting event, you're probably sitting next to somebody who gets carried away with these things, and it can be a little bit annoying, but the purpose is to get you help, to get you some attention it's a distress call. If you're out in the garden, so let me give you a hypothetical. You come home from work, you're in your garden for whatever reason, or you're going from your car to the house, and you have an incident, and you have an injury, you need medical attention. You have to try and get your phone out and call someone in the house and hope they answer, hope they have their phone close to them. Or I deliberately brought the smaller version of this because it will fit in your pocket. And it tells you right here, for alert, for safety and distress, right there. But also, it scares off animals like bears. Now, I wouldn't put it to the test, but hey, it's better to have than not have. So this is my bonus tip, but here's the kicker. Here's the last thing right here. Powerful 1-mile range horn sound. So it's doubtful that you're going to be a mile away from home if you're coming in from work. But a mile, that's pretty good. So if your family members know that you have that, and you press that button and this sucker goes off, you are probably going to get help. You can also use these two in tandem. You can use these two together if there's a fire, so that you can call for help on your phone, call for help with your air horn, and you can use this in the meantime. I am not suggesting that anybody run into a burning building. So let's be clear about that. I'm saying that there are circumstances where I personally would, but that's it. So that's it for today. It's starting to get cold outside. Not today, but I mean, winter is almost here. December 21st is coming. And I'm going to start doing some gardening, over 40 projects in the house. So you guys, thank you again for your comments. Thank you for your time. You made this fun. I enjoy it. If you have any questions or suggestions, put them in the comments below. And I will see you guys 1 week from today. I'm the Frugal Gardener. Please hit the notification button. Please hit the subscribe button. And I will see you in 1 week. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.